Welcome to day 97. I have already not started on a great foot. I woke up this morning, I knew that I needed to eat, but my breakfast options were looking bleak. And one of the things about my relationship to food is that I have to want to eat it to even begin the process. So, sat on the floor, petted Roxy for a little bit, and then I decided, what is the effortless way to do this? What is the thing that I don't have to bash my head against a brick wall of resistance to complete? And so I decided I was just gonna go for a walk first and see what would happen from there. Truly so bizarre that I could have spent all summer coming down this particular path and walking my dog, but this is just not our regular route. This isn't where we usually go. It's not usually where we hang out, but I've been trusting intuition lately, and it's been really cool because even yesterday when I was walking Roxy down this path, I bumped into a friend of mine just randomly. And so I think it's really interesting when we allow ourselves to follow intuition, what ends up happening. So given the fact that I haven't eaten breakfast, I've been called internally that maybe I'll go see if that smoothie shop is open, or maybe the bagel shop. I don't know, we'll see. This is why we always trust our intuition. As I was walking down the street and I was like, okay, what am I feeling? You know what popped into my head? This sandwich that I had years ago when I first moved to Montreal, and all it was tomato pesto, eggs, spring greens, and cheese on bread. And then I thought, I was like, oh, I have all of that at home. I don't even need to go to the bagel shop. I don't even need to go to the smoothie store. So even though it might seem like the illogical way of getting to whatever destination, going on my walk this morning, doing my EFT practice, doing my morning gratitudes, and on my Otter transcriber. And again, if you guys want me to do a whole episode on like my morning rituals, I can do that. But following my intuition led to the inspiration that brought me back to a much more reverent decision. Reverent being like, this is the most respectful of one, this 100 days of transforming my life, and two, of the food that's already in my fridge that is gonna go bad if I don't eat it. So come with me as I make breakfast. Okay, so I don't have one of those fancy tripods that like follow me around, so bear with me. But I've toasted these in the oven. They're not like super toasted, but that's just because how I like it. I got this from a regular grocery store. Obviously, I need to finish it off. So what better way to do that than to use it for breakfast? So one side, you just put the tomato pesto. Man, this is the most unaesthetic channel on the planet, I bet. No, I bet there's more. It's done. I'm just gonna toss that down. Spread that around. Okay, grab a towel. Clean this off because people on YouTube don't cross-contamination. I mean, neither do I in my mayo. Because on the other side, we're getting mayo. This one, it's like one of those healthy mayos, I guess. As healthy as oil and egg can be. But I got it from, whatchamacallit? It was a health food store because I needed mayo. It was way more mayo than I was anticipating, but whatever. Woo! The judgments already in my head. Staff, you're showing people on the path to wellness and you just used a shit ton of mayonnaise on your sandwich. Do you feel good about yourself? Then we used the cheese that I didn't use for my food subscription box. And I'm just gonna toss that right here on the mayo. How dare you use shredded cheese? Honestly, my head is just full of judgments for even sharing this with you guys. Okay. First egg. Ooh. Here we go. And then on the side, the dippy egg. Take lettuce from my subscription box that I did not use properly. Put that there. Honestly, it doesn't need to look pretty. It's gonna go into your stomach anyways. And then we toss it like that. Boom. There is your breakfast sandwich and an extra egg. Okay, so I'll share what it tastes like with you guys. Oh, Jesus. So there it is. There's the sandwich. I would have not have even thought to make this morning had I not gone for my walk. This is the reason why the effortless way can create other things, I guess. For fuck's sakes, I had intended to show you what I ate for lunch, and then I ate it. So that, classic me, really, I got too hungry. But basically what I like to do is go to restaurants, order one of those really ritzy salads that they get, and then remake it at home. So I'll tell you what I did today. I made some quinoa, tossed in a cucumber, tomatoes, some shredded carrots, and then some hummus, and then some feta. And then I tossed some lemon juice in there, and it's not quite the same as the restaurant. And I think it's because I'm missing not just like the lettuce greens, but some other stuff in there. But one of the things that I love to do is have go-to meals that taste delicious that I could have 1,000 times over. If I want to have not just seconds, but thirds, possibly fourths, then I know that I've made a meal that I can have as my go-to. Now, this is usually what I do with breakfast, but sometimes I get the egg ick and then I can't do anything with it. So that was lunch. I had that at 1 o'clock. I had my lunch. And so now at 5 o'clock means Roxy, as you can tell, is getting antsy for her dinner. So I'll have to do that. But I'm also going to prep tomorrow's breakfast, which is shakushka? I don't know how to pronounce it. But basically, I do it a real fucked up way. Anyways, it's tomato sauce, chickpeas, peppers, and that's basically it. And so I'm gonna prep that tonight so I can just toss it in the oven in the morning, because this is what I do. This is what makes it so different. So I make it and then I put it into glass jars, and then in the morning I toss it in the oven, and then I add an egg on top, toss it back in the oven. That way I can just kind of take it out and eat it. And I don't have to sit there stirring or waiting or whatever. So that's my meal preps. Oh, you know what? No, I bought tzatziki. Okay, never mind. I was thinking out loud. So that's my intention for today in terms of focusing on my effortless wellness. These are things that, again, is how can I make things easier for myself, to feed myself, to move my body, to do all of these things. And that's the focus. So in terms of what I've done for work today and how I've put my attention on there in an effortless way, I have already recommitted to myself that I was going to reteach the money laundry. Now, if you're brand new to me or you're unfamiliar with my work, for the last decade, I have been in finance and accounting and bookkeeping and banking. And so I have a lot of practical knowledge when it comes to money, but I also have a lot of spiritual and energetic knowledge when it comes to money as well. So for the last 4 years, the business that I had built was primarily known for a lot of my money teachings. However, the content got really dense. It got really heavy, and not because the content itself was heavy, but because of the demographic of people that were coming into my work, they actually just weren't ready for it. So I wanted to start creating courses and programs that were lighter, funner, a little bit more jovial. And that's what created the Piggy Bank. So the Piggy Bank is an intro to financial intimacy that you can still buy. I'm not taking it down by any means. I'll put the link in the description below. But basically it helps people work with their inner teen, which is often that energy that is rebelling against being responsible for your money. Now I'll give you a little trick here. It's because your inner teen is not responsible for your money. They're not supposed to be responsible for your money. And if you keep trying to make your inner teen grow up, good luck, because that's not what they're for. And so inside the Piggy Bank is where I teach you how to separate your inner teen, still take care of that part of you while also maintaining maturity and responsibility in your financial matters, such as income, savings, expenses, and debt. It's an amazing program. I've run it a couple times, and then I turned it into a self-paced audio program. Now, after the last time I ran this program, I was just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm so tired of having to hold this like mature pole. I want to teach money in a fun and jovial way again, but I want it to be a little bit more ongoing so people can get the depth that they require. That's when I released the Money Laundry. Now, the Money Laundry was intended to be a membership for people to come in and work with me on cleaning up their money shit, really. And unfortunately, the whole intention was that you would bring me whatever is in your way of your financial world, which put a lot of onus and responsibility on my clients to do their side of the work. Now, here's the irony part. They wouldn't have known what work to do to bring to me whatever's in their way of doing it. You know, we can theorize and say, oh, look at your credit card expenses, but not everyone knows how to do that or would have the practices already established in their life to do so. And so I just kind of realized, I was like, okay, what if I made the money laundry? It could still be a membership. People can continue as members if they desire, but it's done in what I'm calling a 6-month spin cycle. So every 6 months, I run through themes every single month. So for 6 months, I will hold a standard set of themes. So obviously theme 1 is going to be expenses. Then we're going to go into income, and then we're going to go into debt and savings and investments and taxes. The taxes month might vary between, maybe we'll talk about inheritance, maybe we'll talk about all other kinds of miscellaneous money shit. But the point being is that as we go through this new edition of the money laundry, every week you're going to get a podcast that gives you not only the philosophy, but the practical lessons that you can implement that week. Therefore, you do it, you do the thing, or maybe you don't do it. And then you bring the resistance in doing it to our community group chat, which is where you can get access to me through the entire 6 months or the entire membership, depending on if you choose to continue beyond it or not. That way, there's a structure that feels really good. There are financial hygiene practices that feel really good. And people are getting the kind of support that isn't just fucking knowledge over and over again. I gotta be really honest. One of my biggest issues and why this pivot feels so essential for me is that you have enough knowledge. You need the practical integration. And so that's really what the money laundry is about. It's not about giving you more info. It's about getting you into your life so you start operating in a way with your money that feels clean to you, right? Because one of the other things too is when it comes to money mindset work or money embodiment work or money and somatics, whatever, there's always this idealistic and often puritanical perspective that fucks with people, and it's not helpful, it's not relevant, and it's certainly not effective, because who you are as a person, you have your own values, you have your own morals, you have your own code of ethics, you have things that matter to you as a person, and therefore the formula for how you manage your money will also be unique to you. Inside the money laundry, all we're doing is getting you clean about that formula. We're getting you clean about the behaviors, the thoughts, the emotions, and the habits that are required for you to see that formula to fruition. So today, what I've done is revised the sales page. I had this website, financiallyintimate.com, and I believe that I'm probably going to be selling this domain because this is the business I've been running for 4 years. I mean, it is sexy. I love building sales pages like this because they're just so unhinged. Oh, look, you can see me in the reflection. Hey guys. So this was the original sales page. I loved it. It was great. It didn't convert super well. I'll be fully transparent on it because there was just a lot of content. I think there just is a time and a place. And so this sales page, while beautiful and stunning and gorgeous, is going away. Instead of running it on the Financially Intimate website, I've decided that I'm going to use Thrivecart. Now, I love Thrivecart just for their payment processor, but their sales page options are basically the same. The difference is that I've revised the copy. The money laundry, we're getting clean about your dirty money thoughts and habits, but no, it's not that kind of money laundry. We're doing nothing illegal here. You've been having dirty thoughts about money. Like you'll have a whole meltdown if you look at your credit card statements, or that you'll never get out of the hole, that if you start budgeting, you won't have anything that you actually want. You'll never have saved for anything meaningful, so why does it matter, etc., right? And all of these thoughts, like this is the whole point, is that the way that we show up to our money and the stories that we tell ourselves have us spin out, and then we unconsciously do even dirtier things, like we'll ignore the bills, we'll splurge impulsively, we'll max out credit cards, we'll let interest pile up, we'll control things, we'll believe that money is a magical solution. But here's the thing that people don't get is that's actually appropriate. Like all of these behaviors, 100% appropriate responses to these thoughts. to these ways of being, to these thinkings, because all of these are 100% fear-based. And if you're operating from fear, these are appropriate strategies to self-preserve. The issue being is that you don't know what the fuck else to do, right? And so that's when I'm going to be inviting you into the money laundry, where we clean the dirty thoughts, behaviors, emotions, and beliefs that stain your access to wealth. And so the whole intention here is that I want you to feel that you not only know what to do with your money, but you know how to do it because you've done it. So we're creating muscle memory, if you will, right? That you know how to do what you need to do regardless of what's happening, because financial resiliency is also something that we do not talk about near often enough. So then I went and I revised this part, which is like what's inside. So this is talking about the 6-month spin cycle, monthly themes, weekly lessons, because it needs to be actionable in your everyday life. Delivered by private podcast, and we have the private Instagram group chat. This is because I hate fucking Voxer. And everyone's on Instagram anyways, for the most part. And I'm also offering exclusive masterclasses in your participation, because as you start going through the content, as I start teaching the content, based on who's in the container, there's going to be natural conversations that come up. So for example, the first round of the money laundry, there was several people who were going through inheritance portals. So someone passing in their life, receiving money, not trusting themselves to what to do with it, or having had received money and spending it all and not like trusting themselves with money there forward, and all of these things. So that's when I created the sugar daddy, because particularly with financial inheritance, there's a lot of stories of how to be with money. And when we've inherited money from those specific people, it gets even harder to unravel. So sugar daddy was about dismantling the inherited beliefs that you received and operating differently from your money there forward. But that was included in the money laundry in the first round. And so I already know that I will be offering masterclasses that will support those who are in the money laundry, that I will offer externally as well to those who are not in the money laundry. But it'll be far more impactful for those who are already in the container. So then we go down and we take a look at the bonus that I'm offering. Obviously the Piggy Bank is just, it's such a good fucking program. And so I just include that, and you get to keep it beyond your participation in the container. And so whether you exit the money laundry or you continue in membership or you cancel membership or whatever, this program is something that I recommend people do every quarter, because it reflects how our body embodiment naturally evolves, and you want your money to evolve with your embodiment, which is a whole fucking masterclass in itself. This spin cycle begins in October, and I'm still sitting with whether or not I just keep enrollment open and then you come in at whatever the theme is of the month. I'm still not clear there. But what I do know is, as of right now, October 1st is when I'm archiving all of the old money laundry lessons for this new round. Now, this new round, there's obviously people who are continuing on because they have membership into the program, but I'm not capping enrollment. I want you to come in if you feel excited to come in. Again, I'll include the link in the description below, but I want you to really feel in for yourself. Do you actually feel confident in the financial hygiene practices that you not only know, but you actively take action on? Because if you're not actively taking action on your financial hygiene practices, then in the money laundry is where we get clear and we remove whatever is in the way of you doing so, right? So if there's resistance, it's not that we're going to blow past your resistance. We're going to make sure that all parts of you are on board with whatever needs to take place, so that you can do not only what you know to do, but that's possible to do and would feel good to just have it fucking done. So I would love to see you in there if you want to join us. I'm just letting you behind the scenes on like what the fuck's going on, and how day 97 of me showing up for my world, showing up for my business, showing up for the pivot is working. How is this supporting my pivot? One, I will always have money teachings. That's just, it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my history. It's a part of my resume. And to not offer that to people would simply be an act of disservice. Let me just give you these things. Let me give you these practices. Let me serve you there. Because not everyone is going to come work with me privately, but most of the reason why they're not ready to work with me privately has to do with financial reasons. And so if you can't afford my private coaching and mentorship container, the money laundry is the most cost-effective way to not only handle the issue that's in the way of you working with me privately, but also just impact your entire life. Consider for yourself, what would be possible if you just got real with your money? Not how would you feel about it, because we're going to shift how you feel about it, but what would be possible if you had the money in the bank account to take your friends out for dinner because it felt good and true to do? What would it feel like to be able to sign a lease on a vehicle because you're like, I actually don't care to buy one? What would it feel like to start making financial decisions? Not because somebody told you that's what to do, but that's because you feel aligned with the decision at hand and what responsibilities you have on the other side. Because this is part of the issue with when it comes to money shit in general, is we don't like the consequence of responsibility on the other side of our decisions. The money laundry is where I'm going to work with you to make sure that you're not only on board with the process, you're on board with the outcome. Because those two things will get in your way 1,000 times and it's just not worth it. So let's get the process of making, spending, moving, saving, investing fun, exciting, grounded, neutral, whatever feels right for you. Let's get it there. And then let's ensure that the outcome of that process also is in alignment, because there's no point in getting an outcome when the process feels like fucking hell. So again, link is in the description if you want in. And otherwise, it's not that this isn't serving the pivot, right? This is just me showing up to my life. I'm going to always have something to offer. This is always going to be a part of my world. It might get rebranded 1,000 times, but I can't in good conscience not offer my money teachings. So hopefully you'll join us.